If you're watching this right now and you haven't hit the like button, Billy, get on it. Bug your brother. Tell him to do the same.
All right, let's get into the big win yesterday.
Yeah, that was a terribly timed moment for me to take a drink there. Adam
That's all
was
right.
wrapping up and I was still drinking, but that's
all right.
what happened there.
If you hadn't have said anything, nobody
It would have
listening
seemed
would
like
have
such a
caught it.
natural pause.
It was a
Exactly.
good pause, great spot for me to hit the clip button, move on to the next clip. So here we are, wasting 20 seconds into this clip already. But now that we've weeded out the casuals and just the grounds crew remains, let's talk the big win yesterday, because could have gone sideways.
So under an open roof, which, by the way, April 12th, earliest the roof has ever been open, but under the open roof, the boys come all the way back from down 3-1, bottom of the 9. Vladdy gets a single. And this is what I love about Vladimir Guerrero Jr. in 2023. Have we watched him at all, Adam? Push or seem to step out of his comfort zone and try and do too much? He is really playing within himself. He's reading the moments. It's the truly attention to details is finally starting to prove to be a mantra that some of these guys are holding themselves to, and Vladdy being one of them. He gets on base, 20th hit of the season for Vladdy, by the way. A nice little single, 0 outs. That, of course, brings Chappie, the only man that makes Vladimir Guerrero Jr.'s .420 batting average look minuscule. Chapman gets up there. He takes a walk. Wild pitch. They move to third and second. Varsho gets hit by a pitch. Like, literally nobody out. Bases loaded, and these guys just keep passing the baton. You gotta love to see it. You're expecting a long ball with this lineup, but they can nickel and dime you too, right? Death by 1,000 paper cuts. That brings Whit Merrifield to the plate. And dude, I was just so impressed with Merrifield. He did exactly what he had to do. Long sack fly into deep center field that scores Vladdy. And even more importantly, with nobody out, it also moved Chapman to third base, who managed to tag and get into scoring position. Alejandro Kirk comes up. Another sack fly, right? Like, these guys score 2 runs in the bottom of the 9th to tie this game and send it to extra innings. Not a long ball. No extra base hits.
I mean, we did capitalize on some pitching blunders from the Tigers. Does this comeback happen against a, let's just call it a real Major League Baseball team? And I know that's harsh words for the Tigers, but
it is harsh words.
We did get some help.
We did absolutely get some help, and that was a question I was going to ask you too. Are you impressed, even though it's still just the Tigers?
Yeah, because those are the teams you need to beat. You don't get to 13-0 without beating up on the Tigers and the Athletics and the Royals. Like, everybody's going to get a chance to play these bad teams. And if we can pad our record, because the Rays are going to, the Yankees are going to, the Astros are going to. So, yeah, snatching victory from the claws of defeat, right, it's the difference between that wild card game and the bye in the first round. So, did we get some help? Sure. But it's nice to see that we were able to still capitalize when another team was making those
The old
errors,
saying, a win's a win, really applies here. And I know that this
is adequately put, Scott.
So adequately put. Very adequate of me. Jordan Romano, we have talked about this several times in the last few weeks, but his Achilles heel does tend to be when there is runners in scoring position, or even just a man on base. Yeah. Listen, Jordan Romano's numbers over the last 2 years without runners on, he is without a doubt a top 5 reliever in all of baseball.
Oh, yeah. Easily top 5 without runners on, for sure.
And you just need to look at the numbers. You don't need to listen to two boneheads like Adam and I tell you. It's just right there in black and white. But my goodness, as soon as there's someone on base, the guy is a different pitcher. But last night, he did what he had to do. He got some big strikeouts. He got that ground ball. And yes, the guy moved to third, but he kept him there, 1 out. Jordan Romano shutting the door and giving the Jays a chance to put that stake in the heart of the Tigers and win that series last night. And that's exactly what they did. Love to see Kevin Kiermaier come up. I'm not a bunt guy, but the fact that now that there are some dudes who can do it, I'm warming up to that bunt single a little bit more. That sack bunt, when you can actually lay it down. Of course, that moved Danny Jansen over to third base.
I am such a fan of small ball and like nickel and dime it, like whatever you want to call it. As long as the whole team buys in, it works out great. And I mean, tie game, extra innings, the Manfred man on second is the perfect time to lay down a sacrificial bunt. Because all you need is, if you can get that guy to third, now you're a sack fly away or base hit away, the game's over, right? You don't need multiple runs in that situation. And it's just nice that we have guys on this team now who can do it. Like when it's the obvious time to bunt, but you're going, well, like, good luck, Santiago Espinal.
Yeah, is he going to wind up getting a third foul and it being an out on strikes or something like that?
Right. Is he going to bunt it straight up to the catcher? Whatever. Bunting is hard, and I know it's a skill guys don't practice anymore, so it is what it is. No shots at Santiago Espinal for that. There's plenty of other reasons to shoot at him. I'm not going to pick on his bunting skills. I don't blame any guy that doesn't have it. However, it is nice to have at least a handful of guys who situationally can lay one down. So.
And speaking of situationally being able to lay one down or read the game, George Springer, after Kiermaier moved Jansen to third base, was about as lights out as you can be. All he cared about was putting that ball in play on the ground and giving Jansen a chance to dash home to third base. He played it perfectly. He wasn't trying to do too much, and he did just that. And he did it right out of the gate. There wasn't the big buildup or anything. First pitch, away we go. Win, Toronto Blue Jays. The sixth time this year that this team has come from behind to win. Now, I know we could put a negative spin on that, but the positive spin is this team doesn't give up. This team is never out of it.
And against the Angels too.
Against the Angels as well, absolutely. So, you know what? 8-4. They've been a complicated 8-4,
but we could be 4-8 for sure. So you'll take it. I was texting with my brother the other day about Kevin Kiermaier. Do you want to extend this guy already or what?
I mean, it's hard not to.
I mean, I know it's hard. Let's just enjoy him while he's here, but I can't believe how fast I'm a Kiermaier fan.
Oh, buddy, and you're not alone. This whole Toronto Blue Jays fan base. You should see Twitter. I know you're not a Twitter guy, but it is hilarious. There's about a dozen tweets every day of new Blue Jays fans being like, you know what? I hated him, but I'm on board now. I love him. KK's my guy.
I was listening to his post-game press conference there after the season opener at home when he had the home run robbery catch, and just listening to him talk about how he's like, oh, I'm probably going to rewatch that clip like 10 times a day for the rest of my life. And it's funny because like being a Ray for so long, probably never had an experience like that in his baseball career. Like, I mean, I know he's made highlight play catches before, but never in front of a home crowd of 30,000 plus.
Yeah,
right. Like in Tampa,
40,000 plus. Yeah,
but I mean, even in Tampa, what's the most they've ever had? 10, 15, 20,000. Like, I don't know. It's pretty cool for him. So
last year the Rays not last year. It would have been 2021 because they were a wild card team last year and they were on the road. But in 2021, they had home games in the playoffs and it didn't sell out until literally the day of. Can you imagine Toronto? Like the secondary ticket market, they'd be selling tickets for literally $2,500. You know, like it would be insane, the ticket price
Pretty cool.
in the exact same scenario, and not with Tampa Bay.